Hello everyone, welcome back. This is part 2 of my Morocco backpacking guide. If you haven't already seen part 1, make sure to check it out. I will link it in the corner. This video is going to contain a packing list for the desert, what to wear in Morocco as a female traveller, general tips for backpacking Morocco, itineraries, and what I spent in Morocco. So let's get into the video. So now I'm going to give you a quick packing list of things that you should take if you're planning on going on a desert tour. I have got a packing video for Morocco which you can watch if you're interested, but this packing list is specifically for the desert. So the first thing that you want to bring to the desert is a scarf. They will try and sell you a scarf if you don't bring one, and they will try and really overcharge you. So when we were at 8 Ben Haddou, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but the famous film location, the tour guide took us to a little scarf shop at the end of it, and he was like, okay, so you're going in the Sahara, so you need your Sahara passport. That's, I can't remember what he said, but basically like sunglasses and a scarf was your Sahara passport. And then he tried to sell us a scarf. So basically he just builds it up and he tells you that the cheap ones are rubbish, so don't buy them, but you can have this one. This is great for 200 dirham. This is the cheapest that you will find it. You will not be able to find any other scarves from this point before you get to the Sahara. So if you need a scarf, you need to buy it now. That was a lie. That was a big fat lie. You can buy scarves later on in the tour, at least if you do the tour that I did. There were 2 or 3 more opportunities to buy a scarf before we reached Mazuga. So don't spend 200 dirham on a scarf. Basically what he says is that you need a scarf to wrap around your head. It protects you from the sun, you can protect your nose and mouth from the sand, so it is helpful. Obviously when I was there it wasn't that hot, so it was fine, but if you are going in the summer then you definitely do need that sun protection. But bring one yourself because it's cheaper and you can get one that you actually really like. Obviously you can buy it from them if you want to buy a scarf and support the local economy and look the proper Moroccan way, but don't buy it from Ben Haddou. It is such a rip-off because someone later on brought the same exact scarf, like the same color, the same fabric, everything, for 60 dirham. That's literally more than 50% off. So do not buy them from Ben Haddou because I know for a fact that you can get them for cheaper later on. I had a very thin one that I got off Amazon, so I will link that one down below if you want to get a similar one to what I had. The next thing to bring to the desert is a pair of sunglasses. This will protect your eyes from the sun and the sand. Bring toilet roll. Yeah, take some toilet roll. There was not enough toilet roll, and you know, when you've got to do your business, you need some toilet roll. I asked for toilet roll and they did not have any, so bring it yourself. When you're in the desert, as I have said already, it gets very cold in the evening. So bring lots of warm clothes. You want to bring a little beanie. The scarf that you wore on your head will be fine for your neck. Bring lots of jumpers. Bring a couple of pairs of trousers to layer up. Socks, like you want lots of clothes. Bring a coat. For sure, 100% bring a coat. You will probably want to sleep in these layers because if you're like me and you do not get to the blanket box in time, your roommates will take the spare blankets and leave you with just one tiny blanket. I was absolutely freezing. Bring lots of layers and wear them all. So the next thing that you're going to want to bring to the desert is lots of snacks. So if you're like me and you have a special diet, definitely bring snacks just in case they don't cater for you. Obviously they absolutely should, and you should make sure before you go on the desert tour that they will cater for you, but even still, just for the drive, for like the evenings, if you get a bit peckish, you can just have one of your snacks. And snacks do get quite expensive when you're in the desert because there's nowhere else to go to get food, so they charge you a lot of money. The next thing is a Grail water bottle. It's the holy grail. It's amazing, honestly. It means that basically you can drink tap water from anywhere and it filters it and makes it fresh so that you can drink it. It filters out all the bacteria so that you know that you have safe drinking water. You could fill it up from a stream, you could fill it up from the tap, you could fill it up from the toilet if you really want. Wouldn't recommend, but you could. It doesn't filter the taste, so if the water tastes bad, it will still taste bad, but it does make it safe to drink. So if you absolutely need water, then you can drink the bad tasting water and it will be safe. Highly, highly recommend this for the desert tour because it will save a lot of plastic water bottles. It will save you money because you won't have to buy the expensive water from the little gas stations. I love my Grail water bottle and I highly recommend taking it to Morocco in general, but specifically the desert. The next thing is just simple packing stuff. So obviously I've told you about your warm layers. You want to make sure that you're bringing spare underwear, spare socks, toothpaste and your toothbrush, moisturizer. The desert is a very dry place. Sun cream. You are going in the desert. It's hot in the desert during the day. You want to make sure that you are protecting your skin, so bring a high factor sun cream. And then the final thing is to bring your chargers. You will have access to power outlets. On the first night you're going to be staying in a hotel, so you'll definitely have access to power outlets, and then on your second night you're going to be staying in a tent, assuming that you're doing the same tour that I did, and we had power outlets in our tent. This section is now going to be what to wear as a female in Morocco. I wore a lot of jumpsuits, culottes, is that how you say it? Jeans, t-shirts with short sleeves, jumpers. It was quite cool when I was there, so I didn't really have an issue covering up, but the flowy culottes on the hot days were great because obviously they covered my legs, but they were really flowy and thin, so it wasn't hot. I also had a skirt that went below my knee, so like a midi skirt. In Morocco, you should always have your knees and your shoulders covered, unless you're in a like surf town like Tagazout or Essaouira. I wouldn't say that I saw a lot of people wearing shorts in Essaouira, but then also it was quite cold when I was there, so I wouldn't have seen people wearing those things anyway. But when I was in Tagazout, I mean, it was December when I was in Tagazout, but I remember wearing shorts and vest tops. At least from a tourist point of view, everyone was wearing shorts and vest tops, and the locals really didn't seem to care. But yeah, in the northern parts of Morocco, no one was wearing things that showed off their shoulders or knees. Even if you don't agree with the rules of having to cover your shoulders and knees, just do it, because otherwise you will attract a lot of unnecessary attention and it's just disrespectful. Like, it's their culture, you're going to their country, just respect it. Just, yeah, try and cover up as much skin as you can. And I would also suggest to bring a coat. If you're going at the same time as me in March or April, I was very cold. I wore my coat a lot, especially in the first week and a half when I was in the north. And when I was in the desert, I wore the coat. And yeah, even in the south, it got quite chilly sometimes during the day. So I wore my coat most days. So yeah, definitely make sure you bring a coat. If you're going in the summer, then you probably won't need a coat, but at least bring some sort of jacket. Maybe bring, like, if you're planning on going in the desert, maybe bring 2 different jumpers so that you can layer them together for the evening, because it will be cold in the desert. I would recommend bringing a thin coat that you can pack. But if you don't have a small coat, then yeah, a couple of jackets would be fine. But yeah, if you're going in the probably autumn, winter, spring months, I would definitely recommend bringing a thin coat. Now onto a quick little list of things that are really good to bring to Morocco in general. Obviously I've given you my desert packing list already, but these are just a couple of bits that I think, if you're not planning on going into the desert, are really useful to bring anyway. The first one is of course the Grail water bottle. The next thing is Diarrhea sachets and anti-diarrhea tablets. It's something that is not pleasant to think about, but a lot of travelers do get sick in Morocco. Obviously I don't know if it's the food or the water or what it is, but a lot of people do get ill, so bringing some anti-diarrhea tablets just in case you do get diarrhea, and diarrhea sachets to replace any like salts and stuff that you've lost. And the final thing that I think is a really good thing to have in Morocco is an extension lead. There are not many plugs at all in the hostels in Morocco, I noticed, so definitely having an extension lead is very good. I'm going to go through general tips for Morocco. Something to be aware of is children will come up to you when you are at an ATM. When you're getting out money, if a child sees that you're getting out money, they will come up to you and be like, miss, please buy my tissues. And like, they'll have an open pack of tissues and offer you a tissue and be like, it's 2 dirham. I guess they probably get quite a lot of money going up to people who have just been to an ATM. So yeah, just be aware of that. And like, again, don't be afraid to say no. Plenty of people will be giving them money. The two bus companies that you can use are Supra Tours and CTM buses. These are the two bus companies that I would trust. These are the two that I use. You can buy the tickets online, or you can go to the bus station and buy them at the bus station, but often you will have to pay for your bag as well, so just keep that in mind, just to keep a little bit of change so that you can give them that rather than giving them a whole note to pay like 10 dirham to put your bag on. Do not take the first price that a taxi offers you. They seriously overcharge tourists. The amount of times that a taxi would tell me a price and I'm like, no, I know it's supposed to cost this. Like, sometimes it takes a little bit of persuasion, but like most of the time, like, they will overcharge you, and do not take their first price for it. Now I'm going to go through the itineraries that I have created, so some example itineraries of things that you could do. So I am going to be looking at my laptop for this, but the first itinerary is for a 7-night itinerary. So what I would recommend is getting a flight into Fez and staying in Fez for one night just to settle in. Do a hammam while you're in Fez because, as I say, the hammam were amazing. Stay at the Riyadh Veras, do the hammam through his hostel, and then on day 2 get a bus nice and early to Chefchaouen and stay in Chefchaouen for 2 nights. I recommend just getting lost in the Medina, just walking around without Google Maps. On your first day, enjoy your lunch at Bab Sur, which is the place that I keep raving on about in Chefchaouen, and then go to see the Spanish mosque for sunset. For your day 2 in Chefchaouen, go and see the nearby waterfall if the weather is good. When I was in Chefchaouen, I was teaching actually, which I stayed for 4 nights in Chefchaouen, but I was teaching, so I didn't really get a chance to go and see the waterfall because I wouldn't have made it back in time for my lessons, but I really wanted to go and see the waterfall. So if you get a chance, it's quite difficult to get to, like you need to get shared taxis there, but yeah, if the weather's good, definitely go and see the waterfall. And then the next day, get a bus back nice and early to Fez and explore the Medina. Enjoy a meal at Cafe Laglali. Stay for another night in Fez. Book a 2-night tour into the desert to go to Mazuga, Ouarzazate, 8 Ben Hadju. Those are 3 places that I would try and recommend getting on your desert tour. If you can only get one, go for Mazuga. It's like the sand dunes, it's the best place. And then spend your final night in Fez and then return home. The second itinerary that I have created is a 14-night itinerary. So this is going to be flying into Fez and staying for 2 nights. Do a hammam, of course, while you're in Fez and explore the Medina. Go see a tannery as well while you're in Fez and visit the Blue Gate. Get a bus to Chefchaouen and stay there for 3 nights. Make sure that you explore the Medina without a map, hike up the Spanish mosque and enjoy lunch at Bab Sur, and try and visit the nearby waterfall. This just gives you an extra day to explore the Medina because it honestly is beautiful. Get a shared taxi or bus up to Tangier and stay for 2 nights. Visit the Hercules Caves and the lookout point that I was talking about earlier. Explore the fort in Tangier. Enjoy the beautiful Medina and the seaside. Try and find Spain from Tangier as well. And then get a train directly to Marrakesh and stay in Marrakesh for 2 nights before heading on a desert safari for 3 nights. Make sure to spend an extra night in Mazuga as well. It will cost you about 25 euros, but I personally really think that that's worth it. When you get back to Marrakesh, do a day trip to the Ouzoud waterfall. I didn't get a chance to do this, and it's the one regret that I really have from that I didn't do in Morocco. I really wanted to do this actually, but again, I had lessons I had to do and wouldn't have made it back in time, unfortunately. And then finally, just enjoy your final day exploring the souks in Marrakesh, go to the secret garden and go to the Bayard Palace before flying home. You don't have to do all those in your last day, but just do them while you're in Marrakesh. And then the final itinerary, this is for 1 month in Morocco. I would recommend to fly into Fez and stay for 3 nights, do a hammam, of course, while you're in Fez and explore the Medina. Then the next day, get a bus to Chefchaouen and stay there for 3 nights. Again, do all the same spots as what I mentioned in the previous itineraries. Then get a shared taxi or a bus over to Tangier and stay there for 3 nights. Then get the train over to Casablanca, stay for 1 night. Make sure you go inside the mosque. If you take the trip to Casablanca, go inside the mosque. Do not waste it just looking from the outside. It's beautiful. Then get the train to Marrakesh, stay for 3 nights before heading onto a desert safari for another 3 nights. Of course, again, making sure to ask for an extra night in Merzouga. Once you get back to Marrakesh, again do the Ouzoud waterfall for a day trip, and then get the bus over to Essaouira and spend 4 nights there enjoying the markets, the Medina, the forts, the beach, and maybe do some kite surfing lessons. And then get the bus over to Tagazout and spend a week here learning how to surf, and finally get the bus over to Agadir or back to Marrakesh to spend 1 night before flying home. Okay, so now for the part of the video that you've all been waiting for, what I spent in Morocco. So I have my little breakdown over here on my laptop, well, my dad's laptop. Mine broke. So I'm just gonna go through this. Wow, I look like a ghost. I'm sorry, that is my laptop. I've done a little breakdown by day. I landed in Morocco on the 15th of March and I left Morocco on I didn't leave on the 2nd of April. I've forgotten to write down everything from Essaouira and Agadir. Cool. Okay, so this is gonna be what I spent in Morocco in 19 days. I was in Morocco longer than this, but as I've just mentioned, I forgot to write down the last little bit. So it's just going to be from my first day in Fez up until my first night in Essaouira. I was here for another 5 nights, I think, so I haven't missed a lot, not including my final 3 days in Essaouira and 1 night in Agadir, because I guess I just forgot. By that point, I forgot to write them down. So for my first 19 days in Morocco, my total came to £452.50. That's, what, 19 days? That's nearly 3 weeks. I personally think that that is really good. So yeah, that is what I spent in Morocco. Okay, so we have finally got to the end of this video. If you have made it this far, thank you so much. Yeah, that is it for this video. I really hope that it has inspired you to book a trip to Morocco. It honestly is a lovely country. I think the only downside was just that the people often are a bit too much. They don't leave you alone. Most people are absolutely fine, but you just get those few who will not leave you alone, who will be very persistent and just kind of ruin the experience for you. But on the whole, Morocco is a beautiful country. There are so many amazing things to see, so many waterfalls, the mountains. I didn't even get to go to the mountains. That's the thing that actually you could probably add into your itinerary. I just didn't put it in these ones because I didn't do it, but go to the mountains, do a mountain tour while you're in Fez. So many beautiful things. You have the beaches, the mountains, the desert, the waterfalls. It's honestly a beautiful country. So yeah, I hope that I have inspired you to go to Morocco. Before you leave this video, I just want to let you know about my brand new Facebook group. It's called Solo Travelers Connect. It's a group so that solo travelers can connect, basically to share stories about their travels, to organize meetups if you're in a location on your own and you want to make a friend. Hopefully in the future there'll be enough members that you would be able to find someone in the same country as you who would like to do a meetup, and just in general to make new friends who share a same interest as you. It's so nice to have internet friends who share an interest with you, and in the future you could meet up and have like a in-person friendship. So yeah, that's the hope for this group. So I will leave a link down below if you want to join it. It's obviously completely free, it's just on Facebook. So yeah, I really hope that you'll come and join my new Facebook group. And yeah, other than that, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if it helped you, because they really help me out, and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.